Hundreds of thousands of people gathered on Thursday in Khojaly Square to pay their respect to the victims of the massacre which took place there 23 years ago. For the people of this Asian republic, Khojaly is a reminder of the ongoing dispute between Azerbaijan and its neighbor, Armenia.
We're here to call the world to call justice for victims of our Khojaly genocide and to call the world humanity to unite against this kind of genocide and to make it not happen again.
In 1992, the ethnic conflict between the two countries reached a peak when Khojaly was cut off and blockaded by Armenian forces. Residents of the town were promised safe passage if they would leave. As the entire town's population began to flee, Armenian armed forces opened up with fierce gunfire. The terrified and unarmed population, including women and children, was brutally slaughtered.
When my mother heard that my father was killed, she came back to see him. Then she was killed, and we were left alone.
Reza, a famous war photographer, was the only journalist to enter Khojaly few days after the massacre when the families were asked to identify their beloved ones. The images that he saw were like nothing he has previously witnessed.
We saw some of them, the eyes was taken. This was one of the horrible, because it was really, you feel that it was a really massacre was happening there.
The people of Azerbaijan are commemorating today 23 years for the massacre in Khojaly. More than 600 people were killed in this conflict. The Azerbaijanis are calling it a genocide. But for the people who are coming here today, a genocide should not be defined by a number, but should be defined by the value of human life. In 1994, the two sides reached a ceasefire through Russian mediation, but even today, the disputed Nagorno-Karabakh region, occupied by Armenian armed forces, remains one of the core controversies between Azerbaijan and Armenia.
The Western countries know that 20% of Azerbaijan is under Armenian occupation. Why don't they do something like impose sanctions like they did with Russia when it took over Crimea?
But Azerbaijan's cry for its history and suffering to be recognized by the world is a cry that might fall on deaf ears in a world that daily closes its eyes to the murder of innocents around the globe.